So I wanted to show how I put my Turbomed X-Turn on since I have claw toe on my drop foot as opposed to where my good foot has no drop foot. My toes are nice and straight and I can move them while I have no function over here. So the traditional way, Turbomed shows anyway, at least the only way I've found online so far, is you start with your X-turn on your shoe. Pull the tongue out, unlace your shoes, and basically you will start to put your foot in at an angle like this. So again, the issue I have, I can't lift my toes, so already I'm kind of starting, it's like my toes are nose diving into my shoe. And I have fabric on fabric here. The old AFOs that I used to wear that go in the shoe, those I could put on while they were on, or I could just slide my shoe in. And they were plastic, so that wasn't much of an issue. So now I have fabric on fabric, and I'm kind of nose diving my toes into the shoes, and that just curls my toes in, and it feels like my toes are like this. Top of that, I gotta kind of pull this back to clear my heel, and then obviously that's just gonna lift up the front of my shoe here and just make my issue worse. So what I've kind of found out to do is take my Turbomed off the shoe and put my foot through the Turbomed first, and then I turn it this way and I work it up my sexy leg here. That looks like it's half shaven. It just halfway doesn't grow hair. So basically, essentially, when I got my Turbomed up here like this, so then it's kind of out of the way and I can work to tie my shoes. So the benefit I have here, the point of this, is now I can put my shoe on normally, like you normally would. In the way I do it, I still pull that tongue out, so where this helps me quite a bit, and this is kind of a little tip here, I guess. I'm sure some other people know how to do this already with claw toe. So I can put my shoe on normally. What I do, since my toes aren't nose diving in there, what I do to help so my toes don't curl in my shoe is I pull down on my shoe and on my foot so that the friction is on the top of my foot and the top of my shoe, and the bottom of my foot isn't hitting the shoe till I really just slide it on. So I'm going to kind of over exaggerate by pulling on my foot here, just to kind of show I'm pulling my shoe down on top of my foot, so the bottom of my foot isn't touching the shoe, and then I just start to put it on normally, and it goes right on. So now that has helped me a lot, so my toes aren't curling in my shoe. Oh, man. And then I usually have to take a knee here to tie my shoes. And since it's hard for me to feel how tight they are, sometimes I just kind of do this to tie them, like so. Then I bring my Turbomed down. See, I still have my Turbomed up here, so I was able to work around it. See, it's basically up here and it's facing this way. So I'm able to work around it like this and tie my shoe. Then I just bring my Turbomed back down my sexy leg, turn it, and I like to kind of push the heel on like that. And boom, pops right in. Pull this back, and I'm good to go with my dad's shoes on. So that works for me. I kind of push that down a little bit. So that is what that is what has worked for me as far as putting my shoes on with my Turbomed. So yeah, I will say these are these New Balance 990s. So these are pretty expensive dad shoes. They call them dad shoes online anyway, but I've found so far these are one of the better shoes because this is pretty tough right here, so it doesn't flex as much. So if you get some of the workout shoes where the material here is lighter, it just pulls on this and it kind of pinches your foot. That can be an issue for some people. I've noticed it's been an issue a little bit. On top of that, so the laces here, the holes go down more on your foot, so I can use the front holes here. On some of my other shoes, I've had to use these back ones because the laces, they don't lace as far down. So that's working out good so far. And with this being as sturdy as it is, I feel like I get more lift out of it as opposed to like a workout shoe that's lighter, that has like a more fabric material on it, because then it's pulling and you're kind of losing that lift right there, because it's like there's slack there, and then it has pinched my foot some, and I don't think it's been that big of an issue, but I mean, I can feel it. Well, it does hurt. It does bring on pain there on the inside of my foot some, but and then as far as it working on the back here, that's probably, I don't know, that's been one of the better shoes so far that I've tried, where this just fits really well on here. So this shoe has worked out pretty good, even though it's kind of an expensive shoe. But I guess if it works, it's worth it. It should last a while from what I hear. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on how I put my Turbomed on and the shoe that I'm using here, my dad's shoe. So far it's been working out pretty good.